We're ignoring the elephant in the room.
Settled science. Okay. There you go.
And we've had a lot of experience with this in digging up ancient manuscripts. Any Hebrew manuscript will be described as a translation, even by its author. And the reason for that is the Inquisition lasted for 350 years. And for you to possess a Hebrew manuscript of the gospel could get you burned at the stake. Or other.
When you say it's author, do you mean the copyist, or do you mean meaning the author of Matthew isn't going to say it's a translation?
I should have said the translator. If you claim to have original Hebrew documents, you could be burned at the stake.
Oh,
and I mean, it lasted till like 1835, and
So from what I've read, the last auto de fe where they burned someone at the stake for the charge of Judaizing was in 1860.
Wow.
That's the last one that's known. There might have been later ones.
No, I may have my numbers wrong, but yes, 6 years before the end of the Inquisition, yes, they burned a school teacher at the stake. So you could get burned at the stake for just possessing a Hebrew manuscript, much less passing it on. So, and we find this with that, great Oxford Hebraist
Shaprev
that you were talking about.
Yeah,
Shaprev.
Oxford.
And he did one for, and it's.
Sorry, what's his name?
His name was Shaprev.
How do you
And he
spell
did
that?
it for Henry.
Shaprev, EVE, Shaprev.
But he did a Hebrew translation for the King of England, Henry VIII.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it was still during the Inquisition, and they had teeth. I mean, they could really burn you at the stake if you had these manuscripts. So everyone claimed it was a translation from the Greek or whatever. So you're
saying that even when they knew what they were copying was not a translation, it was in their interest to say it was a translation.
Yes.
It was an interest.
It was in their
translation from Greek.
Interest in not getting killed, right? I mean,
yes, right. That's very much in their interest. But here's the evidence of that. And that's important. And Masha really wouldn't have known of this because they said that they took it from three sources, and that's the Luther Bible. Who's they?
Who's they? You say they took it. They say it was taken from three.
Well,
you mean Masha or Dalich, or who are you talking about?
Masha from her sources and those sources themselves said they took it from three sources. From the Luther Bible, they're translating the Hebrew New Testament using three sources, the Luther Bible.
Are you reading her article?
No. Oh, I have read it because it comes
No, I'm asking, you're reading something. I saw you put on the glasses. What are you reading?
No, I've got my notes right here.
Okay, that's your own notes. Okay.
The Staten-Vertalen, the Dutch New Testament, and also the Plantin Syriac Polyglot. Well, I looked up all three of these, and we have people working with us in Europe, and we looked up the three authentication verses in the scripture.
What are those?
They differ from the Greek. It's about at the crucifixion of Yeshua, there was an earthquake. And in the Greek text, it says the veil, the curtain, was ripped asunder. In Matthew, Mark, and Luke, it says that, right? But in the Hebrew Gospels, it says that the lintel stone, the great lintel stone in the Holy of Holies, was split in two. Now, keep in mind that the veil is hanging right beneath that. So the lintel stone cracked in half and fell. It would tear the curtain apart. But the curtain is not mentioned in the Hebrew. It only mentions the stones of the temple being split in half, the lintel stone. All right. Okay. So that is the most important authentication verses of the Hebrew Gospels.
So you said there are three authentication verses.
Yes,
I guess what you're
Matthew 27:51.
Oh, you mean in the three Gospels, that verse?
In the three Gospels. Mark 15:38 and Luke 23:45. So it's mentioned three different times in each of the three Gospels. And St. Jerome, who translated Hebrew Matthew into Greek and Latin, says it came from the earliest church tradition and was written that way in the Hebrew Gospel, in the Gospel according to the Hebrew. So you have a very early attestation of it from Jerome himself.